Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
This is a bunch of bullshit.
I don't even know what I'm going to talk about the moment I hit record with Johnny. I'm just, all right.
Wait a minute. I get the finger in the butthole, too.
Copenhagen, that's an Oklahoma deal.
Cybo, we just try to have a little fun, you know. Welcome back to the podcast, episode number 50 of the Titty and Shiner Show. My name is Big Titty, and I'm worthless today. I've worked way too much.
Well, my name is Shiner. I'm currently loading up because I have a feeling there's going to be some shots fired tonight.
Oh, there's definitely going to be some shots fired because we have a third on tonight. Yes, we have a guest. No,
it's not Donnie.
It's not Donnie. Donnie's in the control room doing his thing. We're out here doing our thing. And trust me, this is going to be a good thing. But our guest tonight, he is a podcaster extraordinaire. He's been doing podcasting before. Really, the name podcast was there. I think it was called something different beforehand. Either way, we'll get into it with him in a little bit. Let me introduce him. He's a podcaster, a rap battle slasher from Central PA with the funny last name. His name is Todd Orndorff. You may know him better as the Todcast if you are on the Podcast Nation. Todd, how are you, sir?
It is me, T-O-D-D, from T-O-1 to TC. For the first time ever on Titty and Shiner, I haven't been this excited since a lady named Alexis taught me to have adoration for the state of Texas. What's up, gentlemen?
Woo! That's how you bring it in.
God dang, you could have gone through there and edited it and cut it with a pair of scissors a couple times in the middle there. At least that's 16 full fucking seconds. How are you, Todd?
What's happening, gentlemen? Pretty good. I'm just over here in Central PA having my first ever PBR in honor of you guys having me on here. I greatly appreciate it.
And I'm not a big whiskey drinker. Shiner knows that, but guess what? It's Irish, but I poured that just for you.
Toast to you.
There we go. That's how you do it. What do you think of the PBR, Todd?
Well, to be honest with you, I wanted to trust your judgment. And, they got like the small 12-ounce cans or whatever the heck it is. But I went big time since the show's big time. I got two 24-ounce cans. And, I felt like pre-gaming because, I have been a guest a few times on multiple different podcasts and everything, which is awesome. It's always a great honor. But I respect people that also have some sort of credentials because on my show we always have the credentials. You got to have a ripper in and you got to have a drink or two. And I was going to go big time, so I went big can for you guys. It's actually not too bad. The first taste, I was like, all right, I think I can dig this. And then when I got to the bottom of this can, I realized I can dig this. So it's pretty good.
It's basically the champagne of white trash beer. So, I mean, everybody loves it. I mean, they should. If you don't, go see a doctor and find out what the fuck is wrong with your head. Yeah.
Well, I remember that you said that PBR is the champagne of white trash beer. And whenever I came home from buying some, I told the hashtag smoking hot soon to be wife, as she's known on my show, I just got 2 cans of PBR and she knows I'm not a beer drinker. And I kind of got this look and I was like, well, don't you know it's obviously the champagne of white trash beer? So, yeah, man, you guys have made an impact in my home already. In my wallet, thanks.
Yeah, we've been known to do that. Everybody that's listening to us that does not know, like Titty said, bringing him in, Todd has his own podcast, the Todcast with Todd Orndorff. His co-host is one of our great buddies, Johnny Simonetti.
Simonetti.
I don't even know how to say it. Yeah, I don't even know how to say it anymore because last night's episode, he didn't even know what the hell his name was. So, but yeah, they have a great podcast. If you guys need anything to fill your ear, look these dudes up, man. They've got a great show, and it's usually full of hilarious stuff or stuff that'll make you think, either one. So you guys go support our friends, and if you guys email them, tell them Titty and Shiner sent you.
Yeah, and if you're one of the snowflake hipsters and you only listen to iTunes podcasts, you can find them on iTunes as well. It's awesome.
This show is really interesting because, I started out way back when as you mentioned, it was before it was actually called podcasting. So oftentimes I feel like an original OG in this stuff.
Nice.
It was still known as internet radio at the time. Like I was an internet radio host, you know what I mean? And I started out like strictly pro wrestling talk because that's in my blood, that's in my family. And then I transformed into all sports and the outdoors. But nowadays, man, I'm like the Dean Martin variety show of podcasting.
Yeah, you are, because Dean Martin died, and so did your voice.
And he's going. What happens, man? Donnie is my witness. If you're doing this on purpose, I'm kicking your ass after the.
Todd has stepped away from us for a second. I don't know why. We're having some technical difficulties. But Todd, when you speak and we understand that you're speaking, we'll stop talking and talk back to you. Otherwise, we're just going to kind of keep this going.
I hear noise.
Donnie?
Yeah.
Donnie got it corrected for now.
I'm kicking his ass. I don't even know the guy.
He's back. Every time it happens, he runs back in that little booth like a gerbil in a wheel. He's just running like crazy back there.
He better hope that aircraft. He works on airplanes or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an airplane mechanic.
Yeah. Well, the dude better hop on board and he better fly out of here before I whip his tail because this is ridiculous.
Go back to what you were saying. You said you were an OG of the game.
Yeah, this is like my show is like the Dean Martin variety show of podcasting. You'll never know what you're gonna get. I'm never gonna tell you what you're gonna get because I myself, I look at myself as like a little bit of an enigma in life, in real life, in this quote unquote character that we play on podcasting sometimes. You know, I'm never going to tell you what you're going to get because I love a little bit of mystery. I think it's important in life. I think it keeps your mind fresh and everybody guessing of what's going to happen next. So my show, you'll never know what you're going to get, but I promise you, and I guarantee you, or else I'm not going to throw it out there for everybody to listen to, you're going to be entertained. If you don't laugh at my show, I'm sorry, you're a freaking idiot because my show's hilarious.
Well, he just described our show.
But you're gonna learn a ton of stuff on my show too, I think, which is really cool. It's got a good vibe. And with my co-host Johnny, which you guys know, all of the listeners of your show, everybody knows Johnny Simonetti or Simonetti. It never matters because he is ready. But like we always like to have a little bit of fun with Johnny, which is cool. You know, he's a great sport. I just asked him one day, hey, dude, you feel like being a co-host? Because I did this for so long, one guy, and that's a lot of work for one individual. And but ever since I brought him on, man, he's loved by everybody. I get messages all the time about how much people love my chemistry with Johnny, and a lot of the show's success is because of him.
It is really good chemistry, and I listened to a few of your shows before Johnny and with Johnny, and I'm not gonna lie, you did really good by yourself, and you kept it pretty freaking funny. Johnny seems to bring something out in you that you didn't have before, and I can't put my finger on it.
I think I can. I think it's irritation.
Well, see, Johnny's. Real
I'm just kidding, buddy. I love you. I'm just kidding.
He's real new to the podcast game as far as being on the show with you. And I don't think Johnny, from what I have gathered, and I know some of the behind the scenes things that are happening, Johnny doesn't understand the loyalty that a co-host should have to the show that he is co-hosting. It seems.
It's so funny that it doesn't matter what platform I'm on. If I'm on the show, if I'm on my show or this show, everybody brings up the controversy within Johnny Simo.
He's a little bit of a rebel rouser, and I don't think he even understands that. But I mean, I'd like to think Johnny's going to understand that you got to eventually, you got to lay the cards on the table and show everybody who you're loyal to.
In this business, you guys have been in this business, for a fact it's kind of like baseball. Okay, there are unwritten rules that you just don't do. You don't bunt with the no-hitter. You know what I mean? There's things you just don't do.
There's no crying in baseball.
There are rules in podcasting. There are rules in podcasting, John. And you know what? You're not Johnny right now. You're John because I'm talking to you right now. All right? The bottom line is you got to pick a side. These guys, for a long time now, behind my back, and I didn't even know we're trying to take it. Look, guys, I'm sorry for going off on your show right now, but this is a hot topic for me.
Get on that soapbox, brother. Get on that soapbox. I am personally disgusted by his lack of loyalty. Like, it really, I've lost a couple of nights of sleep over it. It's caused me to drink a little more than I usually do.
The fact of the matter is, it's not just one guy. I can't just blame that individual. I gotta blame two guys that I started with in this business on Blog Talk Radio back in 2010. We started together. We grew up in this business together. We used to call ourselves the original OGs together because that's what we were. We were internet radio hosts together. Then all of a sudden, hey, because I'm a nice guy, because I'm on their show all the time, here I am. Johnny, look, you're with me now. Let me introduce you to these individuals, these buddies of mine. And then all of a sudden, my show goes down for almost exactly 2 months because of some technical issues or whatever you may call it. So, hey, Johnny, hang out with them. Talk to them for a little bit maybe. Just support them. And then all of a sudden, they throw the bait out. And I don't know if the bait was taken or not, but a couple appearances and all this other stuff. And now, they're calling him the new co-host. I used to be the third member. Well, now there's a third member. Allegedly.
I can only imagine how that hurts. I
went to Justin Time's wedding, man. Yeah, it hurts. The first time I ever met him was at his wedding. Of course it hurts. It's ridiculous.
Johnny Simonetti, if you're listening to this, and I know you are, you should be ashamed of yourself. Straight ashamed.
I don't know, man.
I'd hate for him to get blackballed in the podcast world. I mean, you don't do that. I mean, it's like you said, there's unwritten rules. Johnny's breaking them like he ain't got any hope for tomorrow on your show. He's just jumping, going to co-host other shows.
I mean, I get angry on my show. I get fired up on my show. Apparently I'm getting fired up on your show, guys. And if that's not the direction, this was supposed to go, I do apologize. But let me tell you something. It hurts a little bit in the ticker that I even have to talk about this because I brought him into this world.
Yeah, that's. I mean, like I said, Simo, you should be ashamed. I never saw that coming out of Simo. I never did. I mean, I thought he was a loyal friend. I thought he understood the unwritten rules of co-hosting the show.
Maybe it's just a party foul thing. Maybe just party foul.
All he talks about is loyalty. I don't think it is party foul. All he talks about is loyalty. He's loyal to the flag. He's loyal to the flag. He's loyal to the blue line, and he was loyal to Tio on the TC.
That didn't last long. I mean, good God.
There's a lot of things that you can say about loyalty. I mean, loyalty is very important for my wife. Now, my girlfriend doesn't care, but ain't it funny how sisters can be?
Timothy, I want to ask you a question.
Yo.
Now, if you got up tomorrow, and let's say, this is hypothetical. Let's just say you pulled up the latest episode of the Todcast, and lo and behold, you hear my buttery smooth voice on there. And I start referring to myself as the co-host of that show. How is that going to make you? This is hypothetical, bud. Don't get sad already. I mean, this is just a hypothetical situation.
Oh, you're asking for a friend?
Yeah, I'm asking for a friend in an alternate universe.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it hurt a little bit. I definitely want to. When people do stuff like that to me, I just kind of want to step into the square circle and just have it out.
Now, there's the pay-per-view we need to make happen.
Oh, we did, son. We done bought the pay-per-view this year in the square circle for your ass with the midgets.
Oh, that was. I'm 0-1. I'm 0-1 versus the midgets.
If anybody needs to, as one of my great heroes in podcasting, Jim Ross used to say, go out and learn a new hold. If anybody needs to learn the Orndorff, I'd be more than happy to let you know how to do it and teach you the right way. It works every time.
Jim Ross,
Norman, Oklahoma. Boomer Sooners.
You betcha.
Or now you guys started Mid-South Wrestling.
Yeah, Cowboy Bill Watts.
Yep.
Yeah, I went to high school with Cowboy Bill Watts' daughter.
I went to so many of those matches live because it was around Oklahoma. They just Mid-South Wrestling.
Sting started out there. Started out. There was a bunch of big guys. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He started out.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan lives about 60 miles from my house.
Does he?
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. As the biggest wrestling fan that will ever be on your show, I just want to say this is pretty freaking awesome. I can talk all day about this. You have no idea. I'm a trained wrestler myself, so I love it.
My mom's mother loved professional wrestling, and when we stayed over there during the summer and on random weekends, she'd always have Mid-South on. And my brother and I were little. I think I was in first grade. Me and him started getting into it, and we're at the house jumping off the couch and cleaning each other's clocks. And, my dad starts talking to us, and we start telling